Yo people, welcome back to another video. I hope everyone has been having a good day. Bad Batch Season 2, Episode 3, The Solitary Clone. I think it was a very good episode. I'd even go on to say it's probably my favorite episode of the season so far. I know we're only three in, but this was by far the best one. It looks like the people in charge as well have learned their lesson from Season 1 in terms of putting kind of pointless little tasks and missions for the Bad Batch to do for an entire episode just for the sake of showing the Bad Batch. I know this allows us to kind of look at the characters, have them be explored a bit more, but I prefer what they did with this episode. Focus on the clones, focus on the villains, and the Bad Batch didn't even appear once. They focused most of the episode on Crosshair, and they also managed to add the return of Commander Cody, who ended up surprising me by the end of the episode. But we start off with the Empire arriving on the planet Desik, which I believe is a new planet. I don't remember hearing of it. If anyone does know, then feel free to let me know in the comments. But as of right now, I can't remember having been on this planet before. But anyways, Groton and some of the clone troopers who were actually wearing the Ralph McQuarrie inspired stormtrooper armor, as we saw towards the end of season 1 of the Bad Batch, approach Tawny Ames, who is the governor of Desik. They have a back and forth, Groton basically saying Ames has to hand over her position as the governor, as the Empire now controls the planet, and out of nowhere they're surrounded by like tons of B1 battle droids who then go on to take Groton as hostage. We then get taken to Coruscant, and there's a conversation between two clones. They're talking about a defense recruitment bill, adding new members, having a far stronger number of people to join the Empire, act as stormtroopers, and the clones say that they hope that this doesn't go through. Now that we think about it, because Kamino got destroyed, there won't be any new clone troopers anyway, so these are really the last kind. Dooku yet again got another name drop, this time by Tawny Ames, who said that Dooku knew the Republic was corrupt. He knew this would all turn into the Galactic Empire. Obviously, this was because he knew Palpatine's plan. And for the middle part of the episode, it was pretty much just a straight fight as the clones tried to recover Groton, as they were led by Cody. They had Crosshair, obviously. And throughout the whole fight scene, it seems like the people managed to reprogram all the droids, the people of Desik. They reprogrammed B1 battle droids, droid deckers, tactical droids, commando droids, all of them. And the whole fighting thing was very much like a prime Clone Wars episode. It just really felt like Clone Wars, the whole clone versus droids, except that this time, the morally right thing to do was actually root for the droids because they were fighting for what was right. However, we all knew the outcome, the clones were definitely going to win, but it's just funny how things changed. We get to see just how good Crosshair is as well, how smart he is, his teamwork with Cody. They both complemented each other very well. It's basically a two-man mission with some of the other clones just there to take hits and take bullets for them, but they worked very well. Crosshair again with the OP shots off the wall with the puck, and it was crazy. Honestly, I don't think the regular stormtroopers would have been capable of this, which is just another of the many ways that Palpatine managed to use the clones. He used them because he knew that they were better than the average person, better than the average droid at fighting, and especially for things like conquering. I wonder how things would have played out if the clones remained in the Empire in the long run. Surely all these Stormtrooper bad aim memes wouldn't even exist. Now, for me again, the interesting part of the episode was the ending, as we have Ames holding Groton as hostage, as she has a back and forth with Cody, where we find out that Ames used to work for Mina Bonteri, which is a crazy connection to the Clone Wars. For those of you that don't know, Mina Bonteri was a separatist leader, and we saw in the Clone Wars that she was actually Padme Amidala's friend and mentor. They both united both separatist leaders and republic leaders and managed to sign a treaty to end the war. They managed to make both sides of the war come together and sign this treaty, but the sad bit is that the war very nearly ended and it would have gone through. This treaty was literally there, everyone agreed with it. We wouldn't have had to see Order 66 or anything. However, Palpatine told Dooku to kill off Mina Bonteri, which is a separatist killing off another separatist, and then they framed it on the Republic. And after that, the peace treaty went straight in the bin and the war only got worse. But yeah, back to the episode. Cody then offers Ames peace. He drops his gun, he takes off his helmet. He says everything. He says he doesn't want another war. Things will get resolved verbally. He promises that this is what will happen. All the people will be saved. This then causes Ames to release Groton. and Groton immediately orders Cody to kill Ames. He hesitates, he keeps hesitating, he's literally nowhere near obeying, nowhere near picking up his gun, none of that. But then Crosshair all of a sudden just shoots and kills Tawny Ames. You can see Cody feels very guilty because he lied. And he didn't obviously know Crosshair was going to shoot, but he lied directly. And it just shows he's not corrupt by the chip. I don't know if the Order 66 has worn off or what exactly happened to him, but he's not the same guy who ordered the strikes on Obi-Wan, which happened during the peak of Order 66. But they then return to Coruscant when Cody and Crosshair have a little conversation, and Cody questions the Empire. He says that the difference between clones and battle droids is that clones make their own decisions and their own choices, but most importantly, you have to live with them. It shows us that Cody is kind of in regret for all the things he's done, and unlike battle droids, they do all these things and they forget about it and they live their life just as if nothing's happened. And Crosshair kind of feels the message. He kind of, for a second, he looks conflicted. The final scene is Rampart calling Crosshair back into his office, and we find out that Commander Cody has left. He's gone AWOL, and Rampart says that the clone loyalty doesn't seem to be as advertised anymore, which already shows us the Empire doesn't give a shit about these clones anymore. And he's also speaking from experience, as he previously just killed off Commander Wilco for not obeying his own orders. So this episode ends with Rampart saying that the funny thing about this is that everyone's left Crosshair. Everyone he's known has just ended up leaving, which is a bit interesting. And this only fuels the doubts within Crosshair, on top of the ones that Cody had already given him. Overall, a very good episode. I don't want recency bias to influence, but I will be willing to say later on that this is potentially the best Bad Batch episode we've seen so far across the 2 seasons. Not just this season, but the previous season as well. And it didn't even involve the Bad Batch. It was very dark, gritty, very serious. We went into the core of the Empire, which is something we haven't really seen. It shows how they operate, how they think, how they act. It shows us how ruthless they are. And it builds up their side of the war. We should see them as a much more serious threat when we get back with the Bad Batch. We once again got the theme of the clones rebelling against the Empire with Cody and the way he left. I wonder where they leave to. Is it all planned? Have they been contacted by someone? Is it a random exit? Do they have any sort of plan as to what they're doing after they leave? Has Rex bumped into any of them? Is Rex behind the plan himself? There's just so many questions. It seems more and more like the clones are feeling conflicted. I think maybe the Order 66 chip is wearing away, and they also start to kind of get some morality check as well, because at the end of the day, the Order 66 thing was just to kill Jedi. It wasn't to just be a dick for the rest of your life. So it'll be interesting to see how things unfold. But overall, it looks like Cody will be getting his redemption arc. I really hope he meets Rex. I'll be disappointed if this doesn't happen. I feel like Crosshair will snap out as well from whatever his situation is. I think he's forcing the whole good soldiers follow orders thing, because me personally, I believe his chip has not been working since that accident he had in season 1. And I do think he'll be redeemed, but a lot later on in the season. But so far, everything's taken shape quite nicely. Star Wars has finally done 3 good episodes in a row for the first time since probably Mandalorian Season 2. But yeah, shout out to everyone that made it this far. I appreciate all the support. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.